Such affectionate acceptance.
Put a chick in it, make her gay.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
They were big. They were hitting hard too, man.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
Broaden the areas of participation for women.
That sounds very stylish.
What is my problem?
What do you think?
Beat sitting home watching television?
Hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tuesdays with Abra and Cecil. We will bring our guest here in just a second. Thank you for everyone for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Had a few technical issues. Right before we started, my fire alarm battery decided to die. So my wonderful husband had to go and fix that. And then shenanigans with the streaming stuff, but we are here. We are ready to go. And without further ado, let's bring in our guest here. Let's see. Let's bring him in with...
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Donnie, shut the fuck up. When do we play?
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Poor Donnie.
Poor Donnie. I always feel bad for Donnie.
I just want to say how unprofessional, as though somebody who's been broadcasting for quite a while. 4 o'clock means 4 o'clock in this world. If you want to make it anywhere, be on time. That's all up my little...
Well, I thought I would try my hand at fashionably late, but
No.
Unfortunately, I'm just late and not really fashionable. So,
well, you're very fashionable. I really like your outfit today. It's
yeah. Although I'm not wearing my Cecil Says shirt. I thought that would be a little bit of overkill, but
it wouldn't be, but that's fine. You look fetching. I wish more women would dress like this, to be honest.
It would make a fashion statement, that's for sure. I hear you're having some plumbing issues. That's a bad thing for a guy to have.
No, not physically.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I needed to make a quick call to Choo-Choo real quick.
No, my plumbing is all right, but this 100-year-old house is having slight floods in the basement.
Oh, okay.
So slight, like nothing serious yet. So
like sewage or...
No sewage, thank God. It's like a water leak, like a pipe. And it's slow, and you can mop it up and it'll take a few more hours, and you know what I mean? So it's not like burst pipes, rushing water shit.
God. But I love New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this is an apartment or a house that you're renting?
A house, 100-year-old house, and a little. I think I actually more than 100 years old.
Do you have that same problem that John seems to have with weird things closing his doors and all that?
I wouldn't notice. I'm always drunk. I mean, there could have been a fucking full-on poltergeist here for the last 3 years, and I wouldn't have noticed.
No, that's just the old ball and chain. This stream's going to be brought to you by possibly anyway. Bullet. I'm doing the bourbon. I have tried the rye. You turned me on to the rye. So
yeah, Bullet rye is it's slept on. If you find it, it's got the green label. Drink it. Yeah. It's really tasty. I'm drinking because I'm in the middle of writing today. This has been a writing day.
Oh.
I'm in the middle of, Cecil is in the woman's prison. And this is his first shower scene we're being introduced to the ladies, the cast of women that he will be pretty much be locked up with. So it's girl Illa, and a bunch of he's locked up with the supervillains and murderers. He's in the worst section of the prison. It's called C Unit.
C Unit. Oh,
and this is his first big nude scene of the book. He's in the shower, and it's fun. He's very popular, being the only person there with a cock.
I was going to say, how did he end up in a women's prison? Did he choose?
Because he stated at the end of the book he was going to be murdered if he went to the men's prison. So he told the judge, "I am a woman. I'm living a lie. I would like to go. I'm a woman." So
I need to go back and crack open my copy of Cash Grab.
So you can see
Here, I'll embiggen you here.
On the last page, you know, he tells the judge, I'd like to be put in the woman's prison. Everybody's pissed at him because they know he's lying. And then there he is.
In all his glory.
Cash Grab 2. This is
oh my God, look at the hair. Oh no.
Look at this is ink spots. He got the stretch marks on the belly. I mean, it's amazing what he did there.
Wow, he went all out.
Yeah. Donald and ink spots did that. So
you know, that's one thing I have to say. Like, you have some of the best fans out there that, you know, create all this wonderful art and everything for you. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah, Skeleton Core. That's right. The name of this book is Orange is the New Fat. That's the name of this book. Cash Grab 2 is Orange is the New Fat. He does fully transition in this book. And I don't want to give too many spoilers, but there's a twisteroo.
He's my hero, I have to say. Little old Cecil. I mean, he's just a squirrel trying to find a nut, and he's an endearing little fellow.
There is another trans character in the book. It's a character named Dildo Mulvaney.
Did you see that video? I think it was from what was it? Oh my God. Tom Tuttle posted it, and it was saying happy birthday and everything. And it's like, it was Dylan Mulvaney doing one of those cameo things.
Yeah. For Comicsgate.
It's like, said hi to PG. Hope you have a wonderful birthday. Oh God. We got $2 from our good friend Jay Bama here.
Oh, wait. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to say, flooding in the basement? Yeah, sure.
I mean, I usually do that to chicks, Jay, but you know that. Galaxy Stranger, it's the conspiracy of dunces of our era. And it's the Confederacy of Dunces is the book you're referring to, not conspiracy. But that's one of my favorite books. Yeah.
What? I'm not familiar with that one. What's that one about?
It's like basically it's set in like the 50s in New Orleans, and it was like the precursor to the man who will never leaves his house. He becomes like he's humongous. There were no video games. He was basically an incel living with his mother, and it's just him getting into like adventures. He's pretty much called the incel, like that archetype of person. It's just this huge, gluttonous, arrogant asshole. He's like, actually, that whole like, that character.
Oh God.
And the story of the book is actually as interesting as the book. The story of the book is the dude wrote it and killed himself, and it was just sitting in his basement. And the mother picked up the manuscript and went to a college professor and was like, I think my son wrote this. He killed himself, but I think this is really good. And the guy was just like, he's like an English fucking professor. And he's like, sure.
Ooh.
And he took, he's like, whatever, it's a grieving mother. A grieving mother hands you a stack of paper and says, I think my son wrote so he didn't want to be rude. And then he read it and was like, this thing's a fucking American masterpiece. So it got published, and it's it is an American masterpiece. I don't know if that many. It's pretty popular.
The legend continues. I didn't realize you really brought your fans with you today. I got Taylor Swift greater than Disney Star Wars gifted a membership. Thank you so much. And then we had, I think, somebody else here. Was it Omni? The chat's flying by. You guys are just killing it here. Thank you so much. I'm trying to find the other one here. These are all the people that are getting their memberships. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. So apparently Cecil's my good luck charm. I'm going to have to put you on a keychain and start carrying you around.
You could put me on rotation. I'll come on more often.
One of the things I had kind of chatted with you before, we got to see each other twice at conventions. I met you the first time in Tampa. That was a lot of fun, although
I was in altered states, I believe, when I met you.
You were. I come up to meet you and I'm like, Cecil, it's been my dream to meet you. One of my bucket list items is fulfilled. Now let me buy you a bourbon. And you're like, I'm totally fucked up right now.
I did the most amateur move. I haven't done like drugs, like hard, I do drink, but I haven't done hard drugs in years and years, really. And I literally had these 2 hits of acid. Each one of them is like a hit and a half. They're like the little plastic dots. And they were in my travel bag for years. I've traveled with them. And I was like, you know what? Let me just
I cannot believe you would travel with that. Oh my God. Deep cavity search.
So I bit one and I was like, oh, let me take it. And then I got to the convention and I was like, it's not working. I wonder if it like denatured or just it died. I don't know if the chemicals became inert or something. I don't know. So I went back to the hotel to get my glasses and I was like, fuck it. I just took everything that was there.
Oh my God.
By the time I made it back to the convention, I was like, I made a fucking really big mistake.
Isn't that like the cardinal rule? Like they tell people, give it some time to kind of breathe and work through your system. People always fall into issues when they're like, this isn't working. Okay, here.
It's literally what happens to like heroin junkies where they're clean for years and then they do one hit and they drop dead because they don't know their dosage anymore. And they're like, and it's like, oh man, he was good for it was like that, but with a way more forgiving drug. I'm not a big acid person or anything, but an employee of mine gave it to me years ago and I've just been like, traveling with it. I don't know. I did it. And then of course I get there and I'm like, Shane puts me next to his infant daughter. So it's
Jesus.
He sits me in a folding chair and it's me and Pterodactyl is sitting in a stroller like at eye level. And they're just babysitting the two of us. And I'm like going through it. And of course that's the day when a million people are coming up to me and I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't know up for
you didn't know all your fans were going to be coming to meet you all at
I just wanted to go under the tablecloth because it was dark under there. I just wanted
Did you see anything? Like how did
I saw everything. Everything. The ceiling was going, the floors were going, the walls were going, people's faces were doing the demon thing or the big clown thing.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was
it makes me
it was like it was a real deal old school,
like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I love watching that.
And then and you're like, you got to come drink whiskey, and Michael Bancroft was there. So, was that the same day when we were drinking, or I felt like I was a little?
Oh God,
it came down
the next day, but I thought it was the same. I think later in the afternoon,
because I don't know if you ever do it. It gets boom. It gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, and it poops and it starts getting down, and then that's enjoyable coming down because you're like, it's like you're just sobering up, but it's like you're still hallucinating, but you've already been as far as you're gonna go, so you're not scared.
Yeah,
and. But it exhausts your brain.
From Mint. Hey, Mint, $2. Thank you so much. Thanks for the fun times, y'all, and hail CG. Yes, definitely hail CG. Thank you so much, Mint. I'm looking forward to Mint Salad and I are going to do kind of commentary about the Halo series with Jay, hopefully Jay Bama. So I got some binge watching to do. I've been a slacker. The biggest thing I ever did, just the edibles.
Let me tell you, I've done acid and peyote and mushrooms and PCP. I've done every kind. The hardest I ever tripped, I mean, like was from edibles, too much edibles.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean, I was having full on hallucination and it went way more, acid is, 6 hours you're in and out. It's a 3-hour build and then a 3-hour. And then after it, by 5 hour, you're fine. Really, 4 or 5 hours, you're fine because you're on your way down.
Yeah.
But I OD'd on friggin' edibles because I had no idea how strong they were.
I
And
did too.
that went on forever, for like 8 hours of hard. I was like, I don't touch them. I mean, I've had.
Yeah, it's
I
scary.
will not touch them. That shit was.
We got gummies. Let me get this super chat from Katie Did. $2 from Katie Tid's channel. Let me get that out. Thank you so much, Katie. I'm loving the look, Abra. Hail Cecil. Yeah, this is the
It's a beautiful look.
the Cecil hat here. So
more women should incorporate this into their life.
Just this and nothing
I'm sure
more.
Mr. Abra is chasing you around the house.
Oh yeah, with like a towel, like popping me. So yeah, I did edibles one time, and it wasn't in the form of, it was like a gummy, but it was like a flat, almost a fruit roll up kind of thing gummy. No, they were sheets, but something happened and they got compressed. So I couldn't accurately judge, like, okay, this is the right amount. And so my husband and I were like, well, let's take the sheet. And so like we did, I don't even know how much we did because like I said, it was all compressed together. And we're sitting there watching something, and it's same kind of thing that you were talking about earlier with the acid, how you're like, oh, nothing's working, it's not turning on or whatever. All of a sudden, I start feeling really heavy in the couch. And everything feels really heavy, and the room starts spinning, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm like, I can't move. So I turn over to my husband. I'm like, you're going to have to carry me to the bedroom. I can't walk. I can't move. So yeah.
Were you hallucinating, or you were just incapacitated?
Just incapacitated, but like that freaked me out. And then when I tried to go to sleep, I couldn't even rest. Like I wanted to pass out, but I couldn't because everything was just woo. Yeah,
I was straight up hallucinating from weed, because it's pretty much the same chemical compound. It's just pot is just a mild form of acid. I know potheads out there are going to go crazy screaming. I mean, it's not exactly, but it is a mild form of acid as one of the like triggerings in THC. So when you take an overdose of it, you can 100% hallucinate. I was hallucinating hard. At least with acid, when you're hallucinating, even if you took too much, you're like, you can't lose your mind because you're just like, all right, I took acid. I know this, you know what I mean? Like you're prepared for it. You're like, this is what's supposed to be happening. So you don't freak out. With edibles, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Because I didn't no idea that it was going to be that strong. I thought I was like poisoned or something because I was like straight up hallucinating.
Well, it's the same thing kind of like with my husband, because we're kind of like the version of you and Juju a little bit.
Yes. What's the year difference?
I don't know if I should throw it out there.
More than less than 20?
A little bit more.
Okay.
But we've known each other for ages. But yeah, he's like, man, the weed today is nothing like the weed when I was in school and stuff. He went to a boarding school when he was growing up in Jacksonville.
Oh yeah, you could smoke a joint and be like, I think I feel it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They'd be like, oh
yeah,
nice.
They would just
be like,
out.
Now you're like, and that's like someone just hit you over the head with a fucking mallet. You're like, what? I don't smoke weed. I don't touch it. It's too, and people are so, they smoke it all day long. They have such a tolerance. I'm just a tourist, and shit today is way too strong for a tourist. Like it's just too strong. So I'm just sticking to my booze. I'm boring. That was my last hurrah. That Tampa.
Oh, I hate that all that ended up kind of funky, but at least with New Jersey, I'd never been to New Jersey before. The part that we saw was thankfully pleasant. I like that area of New Jersey. I could see why Ethan likes it.
Yeah. It's really like most people, especially from New York, you only know Jersey from like the Turnpike and 95, and it's all like chemical factories, and it looks like hell on earth.
Dumping grounds for bodies.
No, but when you go into New Jersey, it's actually a really beautiful state. But for the most part, like I used to go through New Jersey and be like, who would live here? Like,
yeah,
it's just like, the airport and chemical factories and
The
refineries.
airport was worse than a third world country airport.
That is the worst.
Like, but I have to give Newark credit because their Terminal A, I think, just had a complete revamp a few years ago, and it is on point now. It's probably one of the better airports.
LaGuardia, which was the embarrassment. I mean, like New York, you know, it's like John Lennon when he said, "Why do you know?" Someone said, "Why do you live in New York?" He said, "Because it's the center of the world. If I lived in Roman times, I'd live in Rome." Well, okay.
Yeah.
If we're the center of the world, why do we have a third? Like, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it is embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. But finally, LaGuardia Airport is like really top notch. I mean, it's one of the nicest airports now. But it took 40 years of it being like an absolute cesspool.
Yeah, the last time I flew out of Newark, I think was in 2016. I was flying over to Iceland, and it looked like a prison, like just the concrete walls and everything. Everyone I asked, the workers, because nothing was labeled, there were no signs. And I'm like, where the frig do I go? And I'm like, I'm trying to find a worker. And like, I don't know. You just go up there, you take the stairs,
It's
whatever.
bleak. Yeah,
and I'm
it's
like,
like penitentiary.
I start crying. I'm like, I'm gonna miss my flight. I think some Black woman felt bad for me, and it's like, oh baby, what is wrong? What is your problem? You know. But yeah, thankfully I made it. So
Denver has a nice airport because the lizard people run that, and they make it sure it's nice.
Denver, I haven't flown out of that airport in quite some time, but I remember somebody talking about there are all these weird horse statues that are supposed to represent something.
Like miles of underground tunnels. I think I could be wrong. Somebody in the chat could fact check me, but I heard Denver Airport is the size of Manhattan. It's it's massive, like as far as square mileage and footage. It's this compound, and it's got a chains of tunnels underneath it, and it's got a lot of occult stuff all over the place that I did see.
That's just
it's
creepy.
Weird.
It's got to be, you know, they could have all that crap underneath there because of I know Colorado has a lot of army bases and stuff hidden in the mountains and whatnot. So you know, maybe they got to have the underground stuff in case shit goes down. They can, you know, transport all the VIPs easily. But yeah, I don't know. Crazy stuff. You had, I'm going to segue a little bit. You had some stuff that you were shilling the other day.
Gotta be more specific.
Yeah, it's Cecil. You got to be more specific.
I'm always shilling.
Your cash grab gear and
on eBay.
On eBay,
yes.
yeah.
By the way, if anybody did not pick up, we got about 100 people watching right now. If anybody did not pick up cash grab, I still have when we were going live, I looked at my eBay thing and I was like, my July 4th sale is still up. And it's really like, I know some people put up sales that are kind of bullshit. These, you know, that one that's 35, that's normally 55. That 85 is normally 125.
Here, let me scroll down. I'm being a jackass and not scrolling down. Here we go.
Yeah, like the first one is normally 25. That's a $5. That's the rainy cover. That's the second chance. That's a $5. But everything else is like 15 to 20 to 20. You know, it's a big discounts. And as soon as I get off the air with you, I'm gonna go correct that. So if anybody
you hear that, act now.
If anybody didn't do it, now's the time. I looked at it and was like, I totally forgot to take this thing down. No, a lot of that stuff's not going to be available either. I'm going to take it down until I might offer it after the next campaign. My Cash Grab 2 campaign is going to launch, and I would say, I think probably early August. I was going to do the end of this month, but Shane's launching on the 28th, so I don't want to I'll give him at least a week.
This is a great price on the shirt. I might have to get a spare. I really like just the simple, you know, just your mug on there. Cecil says it's, you know, it just kind of catches the eye. And nothing against like the comic book cover shirts, but yeah, I just like a simple logo.
I'm happy with the gear. The hat sold out.
And that was a high quality hat too.
The hat sold out, and there's only a handful of the shirts left. So that went. All the glasses are gone. The pint glasses. And,
yeah, I was looking. I'm like, where the heck are the glasses? Well, good for you.
So stuff is selling out. So yeah, stuff's gonna come down, and whatever I do have left over, I might throw up, after the campaign, or I might make like a bundle deal in the campaign. But if you want it now, and then because I ship this, if you order it now, I ship it either tonight or tomorrow morning. It gets right out. So
that's good customer service right there.
Yeah. So otherwise, you might have to wait a few months because I'll be packaging everything with the second book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it'll be bundles like that.
Are we going to get gear for the second campaign?
The gear is going to be prison themed, so the hats are going to be orange
Yes.
and black, and the shirts are going to be orange, and there's going to be a little prison styling to the gear. So
you are truly the stuff of legend. So I'd like to see, I don't know if it's possible, maybe you and Lucius could work out some sort of a deal or something, because he's done so many iconic images of you as the Cecil character.
I am his muse.
You are his muse, I swear. He's so talented at the way he can kind of capture
Somebody
the
was
Cecil
telling me
vibe.
one of the oh man, I'm such a dick. Some artist, like a very famous artist, was just like, because he was saying how much fan art I get, and he's like, you know why? He's like, there's something really pleasing for an artist to doodle you. He's like, I've doodled you 1,000 times. He's like, all your features are round, and it's just like aesthetically or whatever for artists, it's fun to draw like little round figures. And he's like, I draw you all the time. He's like, when I'm doing warm-ups, I was like, I forget who it might have been Frege. But somebody was saying this to me, and I was pretty drunk, but I was laughing. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, I think it's just fun to draw you. That's why you get so much fan art.
I could see that.
Like,
yeah.
It's fun to draw little fat guys. So
what's this? Is the sketch on the bottom of the brim going to be Cecil's prison bitch get up?
Maybe, yeah.
I love how you did that sketch on the bottom of the hat. It's perfect. I would say, can you show it? But I don't want you to have to, unless you have a spare hat around there. I don't want you to have to get cold.
I could show it, but I have to.
Courtney said, "Hey, Courtney, is it doodle or diddle you?"
Yes. Hold on. The transfer must
be quick. Okay, that was almost flawless. That was perfect. Here we go.
This is a Cecil P that Camel Moon made for me.
That was a great character too.
Yeah.
I love that.
So here's the like, there we go. That is an original sketch inside of the hat.
Very clever.
It says it's not going to focus, but it's in writing on the brim. Why is my hand shaking now? Like I have
yeah, you have the Bidens going on. Yeah.
It says make Cecil drunk again in little lettering there.
It's
got
really
signatures, got the hello.
I
got about 5 of these left. I didn't sell them because I wanted to keep in case anybody didn't get them. I want to have some replacement ones.
Yeah.
I'll sell those 5 soon.
And still nobody's said that they got the one that you the prototype.
No, or they got it, but they're not fessing up. You can take me off full stream.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I had been wearing one of those hats for a few months because I had the prototype, and I'd been sweating in it and whatever. It was my hat for a few months. And while I was packing the hats, I realized my hat is missing. I mailed out my hat to somebody, and I put out a message to everybody who got hats. I'm like, hey, if you got a hat, that's the prototype one and it's mine. I'll send you a fresh new one. Just let me know you got it. No one ever fessed up. So
they have a prized possession.
Maybe there's a voodoo fucking.
Would you make it big in Hollywood? It's going to have a sweat band around the interior. Steve Giblin says disgusting.
It kind of is.
Actually, let's see. Somewhere out there, Skeleton Core Comics says somewhere out there, someone built a shrine out of that thing.
Maybe.
Probably worshiping it.
Somebody knows they have it. They just haven't. They haven't. Volunteered the information. So.
Yeah, I looked. I was hoping when I did my unboxing, I felt like Charlie unwrapping the Wonka bar. I was like, is this going to be it? Alas, no, I did not get the golden ticket.
And I told him, I said, you could keep it. Like, you don't have to send it back. Let me just send you a fresh one.
They don't want the fresh one. They want the seasoned Cecil hat.
Yeah, it's like, what is that when the pan has been used? It's seasoned.
Yeah, the cast iron pans. You don't ever wash them. You just, you kind of wipe it out, let the grease and the fats kind of soak into the.
That is a perfect analogy for that hat. The grease and the fat is soaked in.
It's soaked into the hat. The grease and the fat soaked in the hat. That sounds like something from My Fair Lady, right? Oh, God. Have you seen the trailer that just dropped today for Gladiator 2?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I love Gladiator films.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus Christ.
I hope they have an extended, horseplay scene in the locker rooms where there's a lot of towel snapping and some sword crossing. I mean, I think I have, what's his name? What's the dude's name? The Chilean dude or Peruvian guy?
Pedro Pascal. It's like,
can we
stop with him?
I think I'm having Pedro Pascal fatigue. And I kind of like him in whatever he's in. I don't actually dislike. I might actually dislike him, but I don't think he's bad as an actor. But I'm having Pedro fatigue. I mean, just find somebody else, please.
I can't say like he's a bad actor, but I'm trying to think of one of his roles that's kind of blown me over. I don't think really anything of his has blown me away.
He was good in Game of Thrones. He was good.
Yeah, I did like his character. That unfortunately they killed him off entirely too quickly.
Squished his head.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like he's just kind of playing himself.
They're just pushing the shit out of him, and it's like, I don't know. It's a bit much. I thought he was a complete coward not to step up for Gina.
Yeah.
And especially since he was making divisive political. I mean, she wasn't making divisive. She was actually making anti-divisive political statements. They purposely misconstrued it to destroy her. And I'm glad she's suing them. And I hope she fucking wins.
I do too.
But he could have been a hero, but he was a pussy. And he kept his mouth shut. I'll give what's his name? The other guy who was Gus on Giancarlo Espinosa, I think his name is.
Oh, yeah.
He actually came to her defense and said she was the nicest person on the whole set, and he got along with her the best, and he didn't shy away from it, and he said what happened to her was wrong. But he wasn't a big player. I mean, Pedro Pascal was the star. All he had to do was open his fucking mouth, but he was a pussy. And that's why he's getting his roles right now, because he's playing ball and he's pushing the right agenda.
Yeah.
And he didn't rock the boat, and now he's Gladiator. I will wait for
he's not the main he's not the Gladiator, but
he's not a movie star. Like
he's not. No.
He's not a movie. Like when I saw him as Reed Richards, I'm like, he's good. He's good in an ensemble. He's good as he's solid. He's a solid actor. I like seeing him and stuff, but I'm not going to go see that. Hey, did you see the new Pedro Pascal movie? No one's ever going to say that. He's not going to be Brad Pitt. He's not going to be Ryan Gosling. He's not going to be, Mel Gibson. He's not going to be Tom Hardy. He's not going to be Leo. He's not. And
I wonder what it is. It's like some people just have that.
He's not a movie star. He's a supporting actor. And
he was good. Somebody brought up the point that he was good in Narcos.
Narcos, he was good.
Yeah.
Like he's solid. I liked him in that movie. Yeah, I see you, Skeleton Core. I forget the name of that movie, but I enjoyed that movie.
The incredible burden of being
yes,
famous
of greatness or something
or
like that.
something like that.
So he was
It
good
was a
enough.
funny.
I enjoyed that movie. Like, I don't
Yeah.
hate him as an actor. I think he's a little Weasley little douche who will get along and push whatever agenda needed to advance his career and won't go out on a limb for someone that's being mercilessly crucified, where one word for him could have ended it and helped her, but he didn't because he's a pussy. So he's like The Rock. The Rock is another guy, I actually like seeing him. I liked him as a wrestler. I like him in most of the stuff he's in. I mean, I don't see most of the stuff he's in, but the few things I've seen him in, The Rock is somebody like is a being of pure charisma. He's a movie star.
He's to kind of wear on me at this point, though.
He's a movie star. Like, he's a legit movie star. He's a draw, and him just rolling over on Joe Rogan and because they 10 years ago Joe Rogan said the N-word in a discussion about the N-word. He wasn't calling somebody an N-word. They were literally having a discussion about the word. You know what I mean?
You can't do that these days.
So he said the word in a discussion about the word. Now, he wasn't saying this person is a or that. He just was talking about the word, and that came out, and The Rock was like, turned his back on him. Oh, I have no association with him anymore. And blah blah. I was like, you're worth $1 billion. Generational fuck you money. You couldn't be like, nah, he's my buddy, And
he's in with
whatever. He's already if they canceled him. So at the time of that, he said, no, Joe Rogan's my boy, and they like, you're never working again. He'd be like, I don't have to work again. My great grandchildren never have to work again, and all of their kids never have to work again.
Right?
There's no threat of you never have to work again. He still caved because he's a fucking fake tough guy. I'm sick of these people. And I saw Joe forgave him, and Joe had him back on, and he was like, oh, whatever. But I wouldn't have. I would have been like, go fuck yourself. Howard.
Yeah, Joe Rogan was definitely the bigger person there for sure.
I would have told him to go fuck himself. He canceled on the show, and I also was like, oh, I didn't know he did that, and I'm really disappointed in Joe. And he had to make a statement. How about just don't say anything, you fucking whose cock are you sucking? You're worth $1 billion. Who
exactly?
You could stop sucking, Rock.
Well, he's not really standing up for Hawaii right now either, with the after that fire and everything.
No, he's a big letdown. I have to say. But it's the same thing. These guys are like, hey, man, they know where their bread, where their bread is buttered, and they're going to toe the company line and say the right thing and denounce the right things and support the right things, and that's where they are.
I feel like this is a shot across the bow, Cecil. Muscleheads are usually targeted.
Well, last year I would have got mad at that, but I'm back. Now I'm back to.
Well,
I'm a quasi musclehead now.
You have a good woman, good food, so
good woman, good food.
I can understand.
My girlfriend's. I'm getting fat and happy. It was better. I've been fat and depressed. The fat and happy is way better.
Yeah,
I have to say. And I'm nowhere near as fat as I really was, but I'm fat for me compared to last year.
Got to get ripped. You know what you do to get kind of bored or complacent.
No, I mean, she's running out the clock with me anyway.
Oh my God. Don't say that. Oh, she's a good woman.
She's like, for me, she's a lifetime commitment, but for her, this is just a temporary situation.
Well, what do you got? Like a solid 10, 15 years?
Like, this is not a big commitment for me, Cecil.
I just got to ride it long enough to collect his Social Security.
For you, this is,
Oh, that's horrible. So the last we spoke when we were at Garden City Comic Fest, you mentioned that you were thinking about possibly doing a movie review again.
Yes. Okay. Here's the problem I have. The computer I'm on right now is from 2009. And anytime I try to use editing, I could live stream only. If I try to do any editing at all, nothing, it's not compatible with anything. So I need to make a few bucks, buy a computer, and I basically I can't make videos. I can live stream, but I can't make movies. Like I can't do shit unless it's really bootleg.
Yeah,
like really bootleg I can make, but I have a pile of movie reviews. I already have like a folder on my desktop of movies, and I've even started like I'll start writing ideas and jokes for each one. So I have it ready. I could bang out like probably like 5 in an afternoon, you know. But
yeah. What are some of the movies that are on there? Can you give us a tease?
Silence of the Lambs. It's
yes.
a celebration of the trans experience.
Oh, fuck me.
Buffalo Bill is a trans icon. So there's a couple. What else was the other one I have in there? I was going to do like a tribute to 80s action horror, and like for some reason, and when I was a little kid, whenever you went to the movie theater, every movie had like a violent rape in it.
Yeah.
What the fuck movie?
That and like some sort of saxophone interlude, you know.
Yeah, and I was just like, you know, whether it was like Death Wish or
Death Wish, everyone had a rape scene in it. Like,
ladies, by the way, my warning, I was a little kid. I was like, stop dating Charles Bronson. You're gonna get raped and murdered. Like, you will die. This motherfucker is cursed. Stop dating Death Wish 5. Stop dating him.
Yeah, he's cursed. Like every woman that you know was connected to him got horribly raped.
His daughter. You know, everybody.
His wife, his daughter, girlfriend.
They have like a montage of movies I was going to review from the 70s and late 80s, but like that's why I didn't like what's that movie that show that everybody likes on Amazon? It's a video game, Fallout. She's, you know, this cute as a button little girl walking through the wasteland.
Oh, she would have been torn apart for sure. Ripped in half.
I'm like, wait, there's no I'm like, all right, so this is fantasy land. There's no stakes here. No one's trying to like rip her clothes off. Like in Mad Max, if you watch Road Warrior 2, the person leaves and then they flip their car in like 200 yards and they're right on her, like rape. I'm like,
yeah,
I saw that in the theater. I was like 10 or 11. And I was like,
it's like they give off a cologne in the 80s. It was like a scent, a pheromone, you know, rape me.
It's shocking. Rape scenes are shocking. Class of 1984 was another one. But it does add stakes because it's scary. That's obviously a very scary act. And now you know the bad guys are bad guys because that's a bad guy crime. You know what I mean? So the bad guys, and you want revenge for that. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of shit. So you have Fallout and this little chick bouncing around the fucking wasteland, and what? Like, no, they'd be tearing her clothes off. Stop it. She'd have to be fighting for her life. I didn't like it.
I liked the.
I hate to say it, but not enough rape.
It needed more. Yeah.
I know that sounds worse. I don't mean I'm pro rape.
No, I get what you're saying. It really is. It's a horrific crime.
But it makes the bad guys bad and the situation scarier. Like it's a scarier situation. So once they realize that they won't do that because this is like a sanitized wasteland, it's like, I don't know. Okay.
Maybe they were all just feminists and male feminists. But I guess if they were male feminists, there definitely would have been more rape in Fallout. So
at least rape a guy. I'm okay with that.
I think one of the worst rape scenes that like really disturbed me was I don't know, I should say grape or something. I'm saying too much. YouTube, YouTube's gonna get mad at me. But I think one of the worst scenes like that is American History X.
I knew you were gonna say it.
That gave me nightmares, and that was a dude. Oh God!
I knew you were going to say American History. I just watched it like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I want to watch it again.
But it raises the stakes, and it makes now the jail was so much more dangerous after that, right?
Yeah.
Like it was it went from being bad place to like a fucking terrifying place.
Right.
Like
even this guy that
Right,
was a skinhead and just
Yeah.
a terrible human being. Like he gets it. And you're just like, whoa.
Yeah. It raises the stakes. It makes the bad guys worse. It makes the situation scarier. And you know, it can be used right. It doesn't have to be super gratuitous. The scene was educational.
Oh my God, it was traumatizing. Wait, were you taking notes, Jay? What the hell? Oh my goodness. Oh no.
Yeah, the accused.
Oh,
you know
that's the Accused. That's actually up right now on streaming, I think on Paramount or one of those Peacock. Isn't that the one with Jodie Foster?
Yeah, in a pool table. I mean, a pool table or a pinball machine, something like that.
Pinball machine. Yeah, I read the description. I want to watch it. I don't know. It's like for some reason I find the men getting raped worse than the women. I don't even know why. It's something like it takes your manhood completely away. It's disgusting. It's just like, ew. Oh my God. Yeah.
And now guys are lining up for that treatment. Who knew pegging was going to be a thing? With like
I don't get this world anymore.
Gen Z and millennial, like what? Wait, what? Well, I had a how dirty can we talk on this channel?
I don't know. Let's find out. I don't know.
Because I was talking with a Juju, and we were like talking about like what the fuck is like. I'm like, this whole like cuck thing and was never a thing. Like it's just now like a thing. Like I never like, you know, like, oh, there are swingers, you know what I mean? But it was
right,
but now it's like it's kind of like part of and we've kind of like figured out it's like it's because since like the late 90s, porn has been on demand and men's brains are now wired for sexual gratification to be something they watch. Because they watch so much porn that the sex act is more about watching now because they're fucking jerking off 3-4 times a day when they're like it's hardwired. So if they have a girl, they're like, yeah, it's fun to fuck, but my brain is wired to watch this.
Yeah.
And because why is like millennials and Gen Z and all that, like it's really big. Like I said, no, like you knew they were like, but they were like weirdos. They were like swingers. They were like this, like kind of like very.
But I think it's like the rock star effect, right? Like people that made it so big and they did so many things that they had to keep upping the ante because just, you know, the norm didn't do it for them anymore. So, you know, like Mick Jagger and
right. Well, at some point you become desensitized to normal stuff. But what I think is like they're hardwired now. Like they're set. What turns them on is the act of watching more than the act of doing.
Like voyeurism kind of thing.
Because they've just been watching porn so much. No one watched this much porn like this generation. It's in their computers all day long. It's on their phones. You have porn on a constant stream, constantly. You know,
yeah, guys had to work back in the day. They had to get their mom or dad's like magazines. They had to rent a movie.
It was, you'd watch it, but it was like, you know, it wasn't like 24 hours on demand. That's it. Like it starts to rewire your brain to be like, hey, the act of sex is not as appealing to me as watching the act of sex. Anyway, that's just a theory.
No, I am totally in agreement. It's this generation. It's everything is instant gratification. You know, we have things too easily.
I don't understand where pegging came. Like, what?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Weird times. I look
who
at
are the girls doing it? Do you want to see your guy in that situation?
Hell no. No.
Do you want to see your guy? Like, isn't that like
mom's magazine? Yeah. Mom's had magazine.
How is that a turn on for the girl? Like, I don't understand. Like, do you really want like he's like in a vulnerable, like feminine position?
No.
Like, I don't know. I'm done. I think
that's why you have all these women that are like, you know, they were in these open relationships and everything, and you know, then they just they're like, yeah, sorry, this is not really doing it for me. I'm gonna get a real man. You know, it's just we need real masculinity back.
I'm trying to bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back, Cecil. Yeah. We need a shirt. Cecil says bringing masculinity back.
Dan Wallace drew me a great. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, he's a good guy, Dan. Had him
Last
on.
year when I was in shape, he drew me a great picture. Maybe I should make this. Maybe I have to get back in.
Oh, here we go. Jay Bama. The week I finally got my internet was the least productive week in high school. Oh, no. Billy.
I can't see because he sent it to my old Twitter account. It's been nuked.
Cecil is our only hope. I agree.
Oh my God, you're fucked if that's the truth.
Brian Dunham wants to know if you've seen 8mm with Nicolas Cage. I've seen that. That was a disturbing movie.
I have. In fact, the house where the final scene was that was at the cemetery, that's a house off of the Long Island Expressway in Flushing. And anytime I drive into the city, I drive past it. It's still there. So it was filmed right there on the side of the Long Island Railroad in Queens.
My dad's aunt used to live in Flushing. It's very different when she lived there because it was, I think, the teens, the 20s.
Oh, it was the country.
Yeah.
It was like out there, like Bayside and Flushing and all that area. That was like literally farmland.
She allegedly had a contract set up for 20th Century Fox. And the guy that she was dating at the time, a fine Italian gentleman, was like, no, you're not going to get in the movies. So she turned it down. Yeah, but I look at these pictures and I'm like, this guy looks like he was, maybe connected or something. The suit, the pinstripes and everything just had that very interesting look. I don't know.
There's a great, so it was like the early, there's one of those cases of like, the argument for reincarnation, that this kid was born in like North Dakota and like during the Depression. And he kept telling his parents, like, I don't live here. I have a pool.
Yeah.
And
what the hell is this shit?
Were like, what? He's like 5 years old saying, like, describing his thing perfectly. And he had all of the memories of this movie producer who died like right when he was born. They figured it out. He met the guy's daughters. He knew everything about them. It was this little kid. It was one of the craziest cases. You got to see it. It's wild. The parents were like, ever since he was born, and they were dirt poor, and he's like, I'm rich. He kept
it's like, where's my money?
It was like his worst nightmare.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
That'd be like having Hitler, reincarnated and, coming back as like a poor Jewish kid somewhere.
Like that was like one of the Twilight Zone episodes from the movie where the guy.
I have to watch that. That's up on one of the streaming services too.
Yeah, watch it. It's get ready because there's a lot of N-words in that one.
Oh yeah, the last time I saw it, my God, probably about 30 years ago. It's been a while.
Numpty, I've seen crazier cases of that. I haven't. That was the one that kid knowing all about this dude's life, saying, I live in this house. He knew the house, the car, he knew everything. He knew the daughters. He's like, this isn't me. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be in Beverly Hills.
I picture what was this, Baby Herman or whatever his name was from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Just coming up with a cigar, like slapping a woman on the hind end and saying,
he's
hey,
like living in some like turnip farm in fucking Nebraska. And he's like,
I'm in hell.
Where the fuck is my Rolls Royce?
Oh my God. Let's see. There's that other one where the Egyptologists claim to be reincarnated Pharaoh's priestess. And then she found shit they never thought existed. But she was like, no, it's right there. Just dig. I don't know. There's so many crazy stuff in this world. Like, I mean, you never know.
I think you die and you're instantly transported into another consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
and you're sharing, but you lose your ability to remember who you were.
Yeah.
And man, I have some either false memories. I know I did drugs, so everybody says it's drugs, but man, I remember dying. Like one time I had like I was just driving and was I felt like an upload happened to my brain of like another consciousness. And then I had memories for just a split second of like other life, and it just disappeared. I was like, what the fuck was that?
Do you ever wonder if we're like really in the Matrix?
I had like a full upload, and then I was trying, and it was a panic because I could feel the other upload, like the other person. It was somebody who died. I swear, I know it's gonna sound so fucking crazy. I know I did drugs, so it could be drugs.
It was drugs.
But I was sober. I was just driving on the highway, and I got hit with like an upload, and I had memories, and I also had panic from the other person going, "Don't forget, don't forget, don't forget." Like, you're gonna forget everything, and it just erased. And I was like, what the fuck was that? And
I wonder if we're all in a simulation. Like, I have like sometimes where it's almost like I feel like a disconnect, like almost like I'm not an out of body experience, but almost like I'm disconnected from like my reality or something. And it's like where nothing just feels real. And I feel like I'm watching myself going through the motions. It's like, this is really weird. And then I get periodically, everyone experiences deja vu, but, sometimes it's just kind of like, I feel like I've just totally, done this very thing before. It's weird. And it'll be interesting to finally find the truth, find out the truth when we.
I think you got to die to find out. And what if you don't find out? You just get uploaded to another person, and your last thoughts,
so
because I'm
now
afraid
I'll know the answer.
You never do. You just keep getting uploaded, because I felt the fear of whoever just died, because they were in a full panic, and they were like, I'm forgetting everything. I'm forgetting everything. And then they were just absorbed. And I was just like, what the fuck was that? But for a split second, but I know, two girls talking magic. I know. Listen, I really don't talk like this, but it was like one of those moments where I was just like, what the fuck? And this is years and years ago. And I can remember that, like, just sitting in traffic, like, what the and it was under 5 seconds. It's not like something that went on for like an hour, it was like bzz, gone.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we don't know. How would we even possibly know if we were, in some sort of augmented reality or, in a Matrix-like program? We could be just programs, like we think we're real and we're not.
Could be.
So I mean, it's just.
I mean,
what is reality?
Can we not program a computer right now to think it's real and think has its own, and at some point, if it thinks it has its own consciousness and it's able to make thoughts based on, thousands or millions of predictable, outcomes, isn't it conscious at that point anyway? And isn't who the fuck knows, man? I just would like to find out I would like to get all the answers. If it is bullshit like what I was just said, where you just get thrown into another consciousness,
I'd be pissed. I feel like give my consciousness a break, for God's sake.
I was like, what, can I just ascend? Is that too much to ask? Just want to ascend to a higher. Imagine the nightmare of the person that just uploaded to me. They wanted to go to a higher conscious of reality, ended up in my fucking head. I'm sorry. They didn't deserve.
Probably like some Roman, like
they were like, oh my god, the secrets of the universe, and all of a sudden they're looking at the fucking Cross Island Parkway, like, what the fuck? I'm in this fat fuck's head. What? No, and then it's gone.
No. Oh my god, heavy stuff. Heavy stuff. Let me see. Look into the double slit experiment. I don't know. That sounds kind of kinky. Is that on Skinamax or something?
I saw a double slit part 4. It's pretty good.
Part 4. They went that high.
Christy Canyon's in that one, yeah.
2009 computers are reality, man. I can't believe you have a computer from 2009. What the hell? Get Juju to build one for you, for God's sake.
I've changed out. Hard drives have crashed, but the actual motherboard just keeps going. So I've swapped out hard drives and, but replaced RAM, and I've done, but it's going. But now that I'm trying to do the movies, all of the like when I was doing movie reviews, 6 years ago.
Oh my God. I have to.
I was doing it 6 years ago. It was on like the old Windows with the Windows Movie Maker, and I could do it. And now I'm trying to do it, and everything just freezes because everything's everything's for higher res, higher everything. You need a higher capacity. It's just not, my computer's just not there. So
I don't know if this will work. I haven't tried to actually share a video on here. Let's play.
Do me a favor, buy something.
The good old Cecil.
Hello and welcome to Diversity, Inclusion, Compassion, Kindness, and Comics. This is another Cecil on Film segment. Today I am going over The Wizard of Oz, the 1939 classic movie, and I will...
You blew my mind with this, Cecil. I'm telling you. Like, I always thought I knew The Wizard of Oz, and it was just like mine exploded when you explain this. Yeah, and the production values here are off the chart. I love it. I need to make more videos like this.
I just realized about this movie, and it is basically about Glinda and what a colossal bitch she really is.
She really is. You
good
convinced
witch.
me.
I put good in quotation marks. Good witch, more like awful bitch as far as I'm concerned. So this is the opening scene, as we all know. And you think about it, these are the original women as lead actresses. The antagonist was the Wicked Witch. Protagonist is Dorothy. It was two women ran this whole movie. They were the leads. You know, this is 1939. They really paved the way for all of the female heroes we have today. You know, the Admiral Holdos, the Rose Ticos, the Rays, to a lesser extent, the, Sarah Connor, Ellen Ripley, and maybe even Princess Leia. But really, if you think about the super heroines we have today, it really began with these gals, the Wicked Witch of the West and Dorothy. But here is one of my favorite scenes, but I was thinking about it recently, and the movie is a little bit ruined, and I normally...
You did ruin the movie for me, I'm just going to say. So
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Would like to do. I'd like to ruin it for you as well. So here's one of the most iconic scenes of all time. Let's take a look and do a breakdown.
Look at the cinematography. This is great.
Okay, so that's the Wicked Witch of the West. She just showed up because Dorothy's house just fell on her sister. So her sister's dead body is sticking out halfway under her house, and she's inspecting the body now. This is Glinda the Good Witch.
Yeah, right.
I thought you said she was dead. That was her sister, the Wicked Witch of the East. This is the Wicked Witch of the West. She's worse than the other one was. Who killed my sister?
Okay, so this is reasonable. She wants to know who killed her sister. She's pissed off. The family member just died in a horrible accident.
Who killed the Witch of the East? Was it you? No.
Now, just take a look at Glinda's demeanor here. She could not be more pleased with this situation. She's terrified out of her mind. She was listening to a tornado, and now a witch is threatening her. This woman's sister was just murdered, or manslaughtered, however you want to call it. And she's just happy as can be with the whole situation.
This just, I mean, right as you're pointing this out, it was like a veil was lifted. This family classic that I watched every year.
Yeah, why? What the fuck is she so happy about? At least Dorothy has remorse. Like, I'm sorry, I killed your sister. She has every right to be mad. Her sister just got killed, and this one, look at that fucking pleased with herself smile over there. You fucking cunt.
You called Glinda like instantly. I oh my God, you opened my eyes. Like, I can never watch this movie the same. Let's continue with this amazing revelation.
Oh, it was an accident. I didn't mean to kill anybody. Well, my little pretty, I can cause accidents too. Aren't you forgetting the ruby slippers? Slippers. Yes.
So Glinda points out, hey, you know, your sister had those priceless family heirlooms. Don't you want to go get those? And she's like, oh shit, you're right. And, you know, Glinda, thank you. That was nice of you to point that out.
Her property.
They're gone. The ruby slippers. What have you done with them? Give them back to me or I'll... It's too late. There they are, and there they'll stay.
So she was just screwing with her. She's like, don't you want your ruby slippers? And then she's like, oh, no. I just put them on her feet. She's just, you know, this woman's not having enough heartbreak right now.
Yeah.
Her sister...
Lost sister. She wants her inheritance. And this witch bitch is stealing her inheritance.
What? Was there ever a reason why they stole it from her?
No.
It was her sister's ruby. It was like, yeah, that's our family thing.
How did I not see this?
What the fuck is she doing there? Why is she fucking with the Wicked Witch of the West? Like,
I need to watch movies with you more often. Of course, I'll probably end up hating most of cinema out there, but you know, the truth needs to come out.
So Glinda just fucking smiling as the sister's dead, then steals the family heirlooms, brings this chick and puts her in danger for no goddamn reason.
Exactly.
Just tormenting this witch who's very sad that her sister died.
She's in shock, you know, mourning.
Dorothy's like, don't put me in the middle of this shit.
Yeah.
And she's already screwing with her. Oh no, I just put her on this farm girl's feet. And by the way, they can never come off.
Look at her. What a great A witch.
I'm the only one that knows how to use them. They're no use to you. Give them back to me. Give them back. Keep tight inside of them. Their magic must be very powerful, or she wouldn't want them so badly.
That was it.
Stirring the pot.
She says, give them back. She has every right to them. They're her sister's property. Glinda goes, don't give it to her. She really wants them, so don't give it to her. That's basically her argument. This bitch is just putting her 2 cents in. You know, don't give it back to her. You know, she really wants them, so you better not give it to her. That's the only reason. This woman has done no harm to anyone yet.
Right,
she's advising her, don't give her property.
Yeah, exactly. They're picking on her just because she's an, you know, kind of an ugly broad. Yeah, this mean girl biatch. It's ridiculous.
She's like, rightly so. Keep out of it, Glinda.
Stay out of this, Glinda, or I'll fix you as well. Oh, rubbish. You have no power here. Be gone before someone drops the house on you. Very well. I'll bide my time.
She's bloodthirsty.
As for you, my fine lady, it's true, I can't attend you here and now as I'd like, but just try to stay out of my way. Just try. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
Okay.
So she totally endangers Dorothy's life for no reason. It's like a sport to her. Like,
for no reason. And there really was. And when you get to the end of the movie, there was no reason for her to do it.
Yeah. You have the power the whole time.
Never needed, you never needed those to go home.
Oh my God.
She said you needed them to go home. And then she's like, no, you never needed them to go home.
Oh my goodness.
So I just fucked with this witch, this grieving woman, stole her shit. I don't get it.
Sand and Metal said that his favorite old Cecil vid is Bagel Boss. That one was pretty classic. You had me kind of going for a while. I thought that was you.
A lot of people did.
Okay, so one of the most iconic scenes. But now take a look. This movie, if you really break it down, is just 2 chicks fighting over a pair of really nice shoes.
That's true.
And that's really kind of upsetting if you think about it, because this was the first time they put women in a powerful position in a movie. Although the same year was Gone with the Wind and Scarlett O'Hara, 1939. The beautiful.
You know your classics.
But this was a big year for women in films. But then to have this iconic movie, which is basically, when you boil it down, it comes down to 2 chicks fighting over a really hot pair of shoes.
And there you go. I mean, you summed up the movie. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. That's it in a nutshell. Just 2 bitches fighting over shoes. A mean girl witch that everyone thinks is the good one because she's like all, you know, kind of.
Don't give it to her. She really wants it.
What a
That's not an argument. That's not a. She should have been like, no, I think it's her sister. She could have it. Like.
I have to say though, it's definitely been a treat watching your journey in CG and everything.
From my my transition from flaming homosexual to the
muscly bounce.
the charade I'm living now with my girlfriend.
Oh goodness, no, that's great. It's an honor to actually have you on my show finally. So yeah, definitely good times. Any word from your plumber fellow?
Wait, hold on. Maybe.
You always have to keep your plumbing in good working fashion.
Yep.
Straight
Lots. Nothing. I've been stood up. I've been ghosted by a plumber.
I hate when they do that. They keep you waiting by the phone all day.
I wish this was the lowest point of my life, but it's not.
My gosh. Yeah, I remember this too. Skeleton Core Comics was saying, I remember when Ethan almost didn't bring him back on after the chat tore him.
Oh my God. It was literally hundreds of people telling me to kill myself.
Yeah. Oh my God. How did you settle into the persona of...
Well, he spoke to me off air and he's like, hey man, like they're really being mean to you. They're calling you like, the F word over and over and telling me to kill. And I just was like, dude, I think it's hysterical. He's like, what? Are you sure? He didn't know who I was really yet. I'm like, dude.
He probably thought you were just
I was like 100%. This is good. I always like the heels in wrestling anyway. So I was just like, no. I love it. So yeah, he was like, I don't think I could have you on, man. Like they're really like just saying the most horrible things to you. I was like, it's fine.
One of the earliest videos I remember of you was I guess you were looking for comics and you were kind of going around to different yard sales and stuff. And one of them you wound up in like some old woman's house and you end up going into her attic to get...
Well, I made her go in the attic because I didn't want to go up those rickety stairs.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna shatter my knees on these things. Oh my!
So I made her. She was in her 80s, so I made her go bring the boxes down because I was afraid I was going to hurt myself.
Bless her heart. Oh my God! Did you get any good comics from that haul?
I have got. Well, the problem is I have to sell comics. I have to. Because I had a knack for a couple of years of garage sales and flea markets, and I don't know, I just had the nose for it and would buy out collections for really cheap. I would find I'd find old ladies who didn't know that they were holding
their grandson's stuff or
thousands of dollars of their especially if it's a grandson or son who passed away. I would tell them, hey, I'll do you a favor, I'll take them away from you, but obviously I'd make them carry it to the car. I would give them $50 for the whole thing or something, and act like I was overpaying so they felt grateful. But isn't it just as long as they felt like they were doing well, isn't that really the most important thing?
No, yeah. You were doing a service, You
yes.
Helped,
Skeleton Core is
lighten
correct.
their load. They don't have as much crap to worry about when they kick the bucket. Their kids don't have to worry about cleaning out as much from the house. I mean, you really are just... I
got them exercise. Yeah. I got them. I made them feel like, oh, wow, this generous man just came and I don't know. I don't, I hate the word hero.
No, I think you can put that out there. I think you're deserving.
It gets bandied about whenever my name comes up. I do shy away from it because, of my own humility, and I'm just an ordinary guy, But it's stories like that do remind me that I am an ordinary guy, but I do occasionally do incredibly heroic things. So,
Were you ever
that?
Were you ever able to sell those the Green Lantern comics that Ethan sabotaged when you were trying to...
for a fraction of what they were worth, though.
You know what? It's even though the guy was like a PDF file, it seems like you still could have gotten a good amount for him because he was mentioning that they don't reprint those. Like the artists or
Oh.
writers, if they're involved in that scandal, they will not reprint
But the
them.
whole chat stopped bidding when
I would have called it. Like, all right, yoink. we're gonna revisit this at a later date.
No, there was already a couple bids. So somebody did very well. Somebody got like, you know, I don't know. He got the entire collection, which had some like Silver Age in there for about $1 a book, maybe.
Oh God. Oh, here we go. Douglas Dauntless says, "Is Messiah too strong a word?" I don't know. I think we might. I think we just.
I'm just a son. I'm just a son of man. Son of man.
He ain't heavy. He's my brother.
Yeah. I am who you say I am. Let's put it that way.
Juju will get $65. Don't you worry. I don't know. So what comics do you still have left that you're trying to
everything, because I'm a fucking hoarder. But I have 205 Thor comics that go from the 60s all the way to the mid 90s, and I'd say the bulk of it is late 70s and 80s, and that's 205 of them. So I'm going to split that into 50 book lots. I got like entire what's his name, Walt Simonson run. Got a lot of key issues, so I'm just gonna split it into 4 and sell them 50 books at a time.
Carbon Heart wants
okay, I'll set up. I have my Batman boxes out, so I'll start doing that. I'll do my Batman. I got Wonder Woman, Flash. I mean, I haven't even touched my X-Men. I have G.I. Joe, Transformers. I have huge Avengers collection, huge Fantastic Four collection.
Have you been doing like a regular thing? Is it like a weekly?
No, because as much as I want to, I'm still like a baby and I don't want to get rid of my books. A lot of these books are my books from childhood. I would buy them at the, but I can't. I'm moving. I can't carry these fuckers anymore. You know what I mean?
Can't you ship them to your folks in Florida and be like, hold these?
No.
Then you'll have some jerk off coming to their house to like try to buy it, and they won't know what they have.
When I drop dead, there'll be some.
Oh,
like yeah, Mrs. Cecil, carry out these books to my car, and I'll give you $50. Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness. Somebody brought up where you tore your Achilles heel.
Oh my
tendon.
God! That was in Houston.
You were at one of the
I was at Anime Matsuri, and I mean, that was a nightmare. I thought I got shot. Like it was like a piano wire snapping, but the amount of pain the pain knocked me out for a second, and I woke up just flat on my back looking at blue sky. I was outside. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then the pain hit. And then I was like, oh, I thought there was going to be bones sticking out of my leg. I thought I broke my leg or I got shot or something. Could not. And you're hurt when you start getting nauseous.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a real injury when you get like a wave of nausea, like, because the amount of pain, your brain is overloading on pain. So you get nauseous.
Mercy.
And I was like, fuck. So I just had a lot of muscle relaxers with me because I was nervous about a back injury. So I had and I just took handfuls of that shit and whiskey. And
you stepped off a curb?
I stepped off a curb I was live streaming, and I stepped onto another curb, but just a toe. And because I wasn't looking, my toes hit just the tip of the curb. And then my toes bent all the way back to my shin.
Oh,
like
no.
I fell forward, and it basically was like bing, like it snapped, and I was like, oh. And I made it through when I got back to New York, like 4 or 5 days later, I went to the doctor, and he's like, when did this happen? Like thinking it happened.
Jesus Christ.
It happened on Saturday. I was there on Tuesday. He's like, you're coming in now? He's like, how the hell are you walking? I was like, I was at a convention in Houston.
You got pills for that.
My foot was black from all the blood that pooled because it was bleeding. He's like, you're lucky you didn't bleed to death. He's like, you have
more proof that you're the Messiah. You didn't bleed to death. A normal person would. We got $2 from 200 Watt Studio. Thank you so much. Cecil, did you ever sell your Green Lantern comics?
I did, at a deep discount. The Fan Skyver discount, we call that.
The Fan So note to self: if you're ever selling your comics, do not have Ethan on.
Well, I thought what a treat. I'm selling my Green Lantern books. I have one of the most famous Green Lantern artists of all time. He's my friend, and he's right here. And all he did was point out, all of these books were created by a convicted child enthusiast, and just the bids just stopped.
Yeah, I saw it. I think Ethan played a little bit of that wonderful. Yeah, that was great. I could never be eye candy. Yeah. So yeah, I remember watching, and somebody had it confirmed, and they withdrew the bid, and it was
people were withdrawing bids also. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Classic.
But, it's Cecil lore now. I mean,
you have like.
Do I want the lore or the extra $200 I would have made? I'll take the $200, but I guess the lore is a nice.
You're a staple of Comicsgate, I mean, it's just, you could write volumes on the legend of Cecil.
Aaron Lepresti, did Cecil sell his stores? No, I didn't. Do you want first crack at them? I'm going to. I have if you go on my account and scroll back, I have every issue listed and a picture of it. But yeah. I'm gonna probably do it on Thursday, but I got to start advertising it so I get a lot of people. What time do you think? What time's good to do it? It has to be like at night. At night, I'm gonna do it 8.
Not during a trash cast.
No. But the problem is there's a lot of stuff at night.
Yeah, that's true.
No. Maybe during the day, Saturday. Good?
Yeah, I was gonna say like the weekends might be a little bit better. Well, we got a super chat here from Doc Brewski for $4.99. Thank you so much. Cecil, as a fan, how cool is it to stream a WT so many comic artists?
It's absolutely bizarre. Did not expect to, be friends with Graham Nolan and Mike Barron, and Mike sending me things to my house and, telling me he read my book. And I'm like, it's surreal, It's never expected it, but yeah, it's weird to have met and become friends with so many people I read growing up. And
all the talent out there is just unbelievable. And I have definitely been blessed, and it's been an honor to have a chance to chat with some of these great talented individuals. And
me too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Cecil too.
It's been such a blessing to meet all these talented people, and Cecil.
Yeah, who made me hate the Wizard of Oz forever. But on that, I know I've kept you longer than we originally planned, but thank you so much. I just wanted to say
this was fun. Always great to see you, and say hello to your wonderful husband. Always great to see him.
I will. And, I really appreciate it.
We could do this anytime you want.
I love talking about movies and stuff. I could talk about the government, although that tends to get really dark really quick. But yeah, it's always exciting to talk to you, Cecil. You're just a great guy, in all honesty too. It's you really are just a great personable guy. And if anybody has a chance to meet Cecil at a convention, please no, he's a nice person, a really nice person. And I told Juju, you better treat her right, or I was going to kick your ass. So
I will. I do.
Yeah. Let's see. Douglas Dauntless says kick Cecil. Well, let's kick
Well,
us both.
it's happening.
I think we'll kick ourselves. I just wanted to say thank you real quick to everybody who showed up. I know that you guys pretty much all are Cecil fans here, so thank you for coming by and watching this crazy show, watching us kind of just shoot the breeze for a little bit.
I might
you guys
tonight.
are great.
Keep your eye out. I'll see if he's not trash casting. I'm gonna go back to writing right now. So
yeah,
I might want to do a little break and do a stream a little later. So I'll keep an eye out. I might.
All right. I'll drink some more and then I'll keep an eye out for you. But thank you so much, everybody in the chat. If you would please consider subscribing. If you're not already subscribed, hit that bell for notifications. Thank you so much for everyone who was very generous and gave super chats. Thank you so much for the new ones that subscribed. I just recently started memberships. So thank you all very much. I really appreciate it. It's very humbling. I love chatting with everyone. I love seeing what everyone has to say in the chat. You guys are great. So I will see you all in the next video, which will actually be tomorrow with Andy Smith on the DNA show. So we're going to have Belle Winters on the DNA show, and we're going to take over. The chicks are going to take over. So we'll see how it goes. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Get these ear sets off of me. I've had enough. Get the hell out of my house. In Jesus' name, I pray.